America has a problem. Everybody's going crazy for the pink Stanley quencher, and if you're like me who have been seeing these videos online of people literally falling on top of themselves just to get a hold of one of these cups, and you're wondering what is going on, what is so special about this cup, well, I am here to give you some answers to your question, and to also just wonder how we got here as a society, a civilized society, a society that has several technological advancements, that has explored space, but here we are falling over Stanley cups. They are just cups. They are just cups. Hello and welcome to my channel. I don't even know what the name of this channel is because this is literally my first video on this channel. I've been meaning to start a YouTube channel like this where I just come and talk about things that I see on social media, especially on TikTok, because I'm always on that app. And I am not proud of it, but I'm always on that app and I'm always seeing something crazy. And I have opinions about these things and I feel like I need to talk about them. I need to voice them out. So I'm creating this channel to just have opinions about things. I know it is none of my business, but I just want to have an opinion, okay? I've been on social media since 2014. I joined Facebook in 2014 and I have never heard about Stanley Cups. Even when I was on Instagram, I did not hear about Stanley Cups until I came on TikTok. Yes, TikTok made me aware of Stanley Cups. And if this is your first time hearing about Stanley and you're thinking Stanley is a middle-aged white man, you're wrong. Stanley is not a middle-aged white man. Stanley is a company that produces water bottle and it was founded by William Stanley Jr. They make vacuum sealed water bottle out of steel. And the first Stanley that was made isn't cute, but it is functional. And I think that's the essence of having water bottles. They're meant to be functional. And this was mainly targeted towards the male demographic, people who work in construction, people who do like heavy labor. So that product was geared towards them. But now in 2023, Sorry, 2024. But now in 2024, Stanley Cup, Stanley Quencher is no longer used for its functionality, but for its aesthetics. When I came on TikTok, I think I started using TikTok actively maybe in 2022, yes. That was when I started noticing the Stanley Cups. Like, people made it a part of their personality. People made it a part of their personality whenever they run errands, especially influencers. I always see them with their Stanley Cup, just lugging it around everywhere they go, put it in their car. So it's part of the aesthetic, it's part of the lifestyle, part of the image, that you put up on social media to show that you maybe have a perfect life. I don't even know what the ideology behind it is. But initially, when the Stanley Quenchers were released, they weren't a hit product because there were other water bottles that were trending at that time. You have your Yeti, you have your Owala, I think. There are other water bottles, and this is something that I find fascinating because I've been soaked in these Stanley issues throughout the day. Like, I've been watching TikToks on it. It's just fascinating to me. So those other water bottles I mentioned, like the Yeti, the Owala, they have various types of water bottle or cups or whatever. They trended, like there was a time they were popular and expensive, and now they are no longer trendy because Stanley Quenchers are taking over, which is just so fascinating to me because these water bottles and cups are meant to be reusable, right? These are things you're meant to use multiple times, but you see one person owning hundreds of water bottles, and it's just kind of weird to me to see. But these are meant to be reusable. It means you own one or maybe two at most, and you use them until you need another one. But now it's like there are people who have 10 Stanley Cups in their house and they're running to get this new one that just launched. Like, make it make sense, because it's not making sense to me. It's just so fascinating for me to see that a brand can literally convince people that they need multiple of a water bottle that is reusable. And these water bottles are not cheap. Let's go back to that. These water bottles are not cheap. Now, the list price I saw when I was checking online was $45, and some with like very special colors go for higher than that. And And when you want to buy it resale, go on eBay, they go for as high as $200 for a water bottle. And it's so fascinating because this is the same period that everybody's complaining about the economy. Everybody's complaining how there's rise in the price of groceries. Everybody's complaining about how people cannot afford houses anymore. People are complaining about how they cannot afford the basic necessities, but you have money for Stanley. You have money for Stanley, and again, Stanley is not a middle-aged white man. You have the money. It's just so amusing to me, and the reason why it's so amusing to me is because I'm just a girl in a developing country. I'm from Nigeria, and the way I see mostly Americans act towards products is not something that is common for me to see in my day-to-day life where I live. It is just a cup. It is just a cup. Why are you lining up in front of Target overnight for just a cup? Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Have some self-respect. Have some dignity. For a product that you'll be paying, it's not even a free product. Even if the product is free, have some self-respect. So while I was still trying to understand the madness surrounding the Stanley Cup, I came across an article by US Today, and it was so funny. So let me just read out the portion of the article that I found so funny. Some of those who were fortunate enough to walk out with a cup took to TikTok to document the experience and purchase, stating that the wait was worth it because the cup was pink and sparkly. And I found that so amusing. Waiting in front of Target overnight, when you have a house, you have roof over your head, waiting in Target overnight and then rushing to go and get a cup was worth it because it was pink and sparkly. And this just goes to show you how crazy capitalism is. And I don't mean to be that person that brings in capitalism in every issue, but it's just crazy to me. Something that I found very shocking with all of these was when I discovered that this cup that was released, I think it's a Valentine's Day special collaboration with, guess who? Starbucks. Yes, this is not the first collaboration that Stanley is doing with Starbucks from my research, but this one is different because of the whole issue surrounding Starbucks and people boycotting Starbucks, because I've been seeing a lot of videos online because they've been accused of sponsoring is not real. You know what I'm saying? Yes, people have been boycotting Starbucks, and it's just so I don't even know the words to use to describe it. To see that 1 minute you are boycotting Starbucks and the next minute you are buying a product that was in collaboration with them. Yes, it is a Stanley Cup. Yes, it is sold in Target. But at the end of the day, a brand that a lot of people have agreed to boycott is still a partner in all of this. I don't know how to feel about it, honestly, because I think I'm just at the point where I've realized that people do not take the issues that is going on in the world seriously until it affects them, until it comes on their doorstep. That is the only time they will feel the need or feel pushed to do something. It is just a cup. It is just a pink cup. You could have gone through with your life without that cup. And what is funny is that is not the only pink cup that Stanley has. Stanley has multiple pink cups in different shades. And I think the reason why Stanley was able to move with the collaboration they have with Starbucks is the fact that they have a positive brand image, especially with them buying a car for a TikTok user recently. There was a woman who made a video about her car getting burnt, but then the Stanley that she left in the car was still filled with ice, and that video garnered a lot of views. Stanley jumped on that publicity. It was a good publicity for them, so they bought the woman a car. And a lot of people were saying because of this positive acts that Stanley had done, they were going to support the brand. So they have a positive brand image online, and it was just baffling for me to see that Stanley was willing to put themselves on the line, knowing that Starbucks has been under fire lately. And I think Stanley as a brand should know the power of social media, or should know the power of influencer or people online, because it is people online that give the Stanley Quencher the fame it has today and the popularity it has today. And it was interesting for me to see that the global president of Stanley, who engineered the rebranding of Stanley and everything, is the same person that rebranded Crocs. Yes, Crocs, the ugly shoes that people did not want to wear, that it was older men who wore them for fishing and doing other activities, suddenly became trendy, suddenly was in everybody's faces. And then before we knew, Crocs became a lifestyle, and now everybody wants to have Crocs. Crocs is literally for everyone, from the young to the old to babies. Like, everybody wants to own Crocs. And the same thing is happening to Stanley. They figured out a new market, which is middle-aged women, which then trickled down to younger people. Like, it's just interesting to see this group of people, women, middle-aged, younger women, young girls, 10-year-old girls, are literally the major market for Stanley cups. I find it really hilarious that people are attaching so much importance to just, it's a cup at the end of the day. People can spend their money on whatever they want to. I'm just making an observation. I'm just stating my opinion, which I'm allowed to have. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I know this is just my first content. If you want to hear my opinion, the opinion of a girl in Nigeria, in Africa, about everything that is happening on social media, then you should subscribe to the channel. I promise you it is going to be entertaining, and I promise you it is going to be entertaining. Bye. Bye.